if I was to play against like Peyz, Gumayusi, Ruler, it would be so exciting. Like I wouldn't be able to sleep. Like I would just be so focused on putting up a good performance and proving that like I can match up to them.
Hey guys, this is Ashley King of Korizon Esports, and I'm joined by Doublelift, the bot laner of 100 Thieves.
Hello.
After they do qualify to the 2023 LCS Summer Season playoffs after the final day at the regular season. Hey Doublelift, yeah, that was not the most optimal day for 100 Thieves, but you do qualify to playoffs. How are you overall feeling right now?
It's kind of disgusting that we were able to go 1-3 in the last week of LCS and still make playoffs. I fully understand that we got very lucky.
Yeah?
Uh, and yeah, like it's not the best ending, that's for sure. But miracle runs can happen, and I think our team has the potential to beat everyone. This is like the most cringe thing that every player says, like, "Oh my god, we can beat anyone if we play our best game." Like that's like the most repeated phrase of every pro player ever. But, if you don't believe it, then what are you even doing? Like, why would you even play an LCS if you don't really believe that your team could beat the best teams
Yeah.
and be the best team? So
Yeah.
there's just, we have a lot of problems that are recurring, and we just need to focus on fixing them. And I think we need to focus on just doing the most simple thing together. Sometimes I think our team, we try to go for the hardest play with let's just say the hardest play gives you 10% better results if you play it perfectly. But the threshold is if you mess it up, then you probably throw. So yeah, I think like my opinion is maybe the best team in the world, they're gonna go for the best play and they're gonna perfectly do it every time. But right now I think we need to focus on just being a team.
Okay, I don't know what the English word for it is, but in Korea they often say that you have to get the fundamentals right. It's like something that I hear from players all the time. I think that's
Yeah,
kind of what you're implying.
the fundamentals are everything.
Yeah.
Like I played the game forever, and I tell you definitively,
Yeah.
people like new
Yeah.
players come. My new teammates, Buzio and Quid, they're very young. They're learning the same things that my teammates were working on in season 3. And that's not because I think they're like slow learners or because I don't think they're talented. Like I think they're very talented people, but it's just League is all about the fundamentals. And it's funny because I played for so long, I can tell you like, wow, what a like I'm in like deja vu constantly. I'm like, whoa, I had the same conversation 10 years ago or like 6 years ago on another team. But yeah, it's just kind of funny and interesting.
What does some of those conversations look like? Does it like, oh, don't miss the CS, or like you need to play this sub matchup, or you need to protect the fucking AD carry? No, I'm joking.
No, I mean there's like lots of stuff. Yeah, like honestly, like there's like so many things. It's like
Yeah.
very basic. You see in LCS, like I give you an example. One of them is like we won a game against NRG, and one of the reasons why we won is because everyone is constantly stacking on FBI. They're like his teammates are kiting back, but they're also standing really close to the AD carry. You should give your AD carry space so that if the enemy goes like flash engage, they don't catch more than one person. So I always tell my teammates to like spread off of me. And it's like funny because like I can remember distinctly on CLG in season 2, I was yelling, I was raging at my teammates. I'm like, don't stand on top of me. If like like Alistar flash combos me or Malphite ults me, I need you guys to be ready to peel, like counter engage, right? It's a very basic concept. And then like we'll just randomly win or lose LCS games on these kind of like fundamentals. So yeah, I gave a free tip there to NRG. I don't understand why they're positioning so close to FBI all the time. Not good.
An editor recently joined our team, and I asked him, "Hey, do you know Doublelift?" And he's like, "The only thing I know about Doublelift is he shook Baker's hands once." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you a history lesson." And the first video I showed him is IG versus CLG back in 2011.
You mean IG versus CLG?
I think so. Is it IG versus CLG?
I don't even remember. Wait, what?
Shit, this
Which
is
one?
like back when you used to play in Korea, and everyone used to play in Korea.
Oh, in 2012. I think I do remember. I played in OGN. Maybe it was 2011. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right, dude.
yeah, yeah,
That's so long ago. My memory doesn't even go back that far. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie.
Do you think like League of Legends has changed so much since then, and some things obviously stay the same, like fundamentals and stuff. But in which other ways has it changed?
Oh, like so many things have changed.
Okay.
Like I think like the standard for what a good play is has always gotten higher and higher every single year. Like I'll give you like an example. Like when Lee Sin came out, just doing the insect was obviously something so crazy. Now silver Lee Sins can do the insect no problem. 99% of the time they'll pull it off. Then fast forward like Kaisa comes out. Kaisa has some small mechanics, some animation canceling. RW is a very important one to cast your W, like to ulti, then flick your mouse to aim your W, and then cast W while you're 0.1 second like dashing. Um, if somebody did that when Kaisa first came out, kind of crazy. Now, if you don't do it, you suck. Like you shouldn't play Kaisa if you can't do this very simple thing. So I think there's lots of things that have gotten way better. And so many examples. Like for one, Alistar used to be a very strong pick, and then now Alistar is so easy to play against because everyone can dodge his WQ. Like it's so easy to do if you're a good player. Um, so yeah, every single year, I think people's mechanical skill and game knowledge gets better. Um, but some things stay the same. Some fundamentals you always need to work on no matter what.
Going back to like the Hundred Thieves like recent performance, I do realize the Hundred Thieves had a very shaky start, and I recently watched your Travis interview where you said, yeah, part of it was all the players arriving to America in different times, and we had like a shorter amount of period having to adjust with like a new roster. Would you say that Hundred Thieves is slowly improving ever since, and in which most notable way has Hundred Thieves had been a better team since, let's say, week 3?
Um, I think the main one is you don't really have any excuses when you have your full roster. So you really need to take everything very seriously. Feedback you need to take very seriously. The coach tells you something, you need to take it seriously. If there's a bad habit that you have, you need to take it very seriously because you can no longer say like, "Oh, yeah, but like if everything was a little bit different, maybe this wouldn't be a big problem." Because we don't have our coach, we don't have our mid laner, blah blah blah. And so yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is just we realize like now it's time. Like we need to take hold of the situation and start getting better. I think some weeks we get a lot better, and some weeks we kind of stay the same. So I think like we've had some good times, we've had some bad times. I think we're like 0-9 or like 0-10 versus the top 5 teams. They have some crazy statistic where we cannot like win against the good teams. But that stat is like troll because it is a bad stat. Like very, very, very we should be able to beat a top team, right? At least one time. But a lot of our games versus top teams are very close. We basically just make one game losing mistake at like 30, 35 minutes, then the game is over. Um and so I think we're close to being great, but yeah, I do think like we would just need to everyone needs to like kind of realize it's time now. Like playoffs, we got lucky. We are in playoffs. We need to, take control of the situation now and everyone get better.
I was just going to ask, what are you specifically going to work on? But I guess you might say fundamentals as well as perhaps like, team fight comms or something.
I think our biggest problem for a while was we were just getting destroyed early game, and I hope that people can see we don't really have that problem now. I think our early game has gotten more stable and way better. So now our biggest problem is probably like um, we get caught too much, and in situations that the enemy team has a very small window to do something. So like they have 5 seconds where they can TP, then 25 seconds where they cannot TP. Um,
The whole tempo thing. Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
give it like we're just like either not thinking about it or we're disrespecting it. Also, when it's time for the enemy team to engage, right? Like you do the dance back and forth. Sometimes it's your turn, sometimes it's the enemy team turn. When it's the enemy team's turn, we really need to focus on giving them respect. And so, like, yeah, I mean, that's such a basic thing to talk about, and I think everyone on the team knows that it's a big problem. So, yeah, there's lots of things that we can work on. Obviously, everything in the game we can get it better at, but I think right now that's the main reason why we're losing games.
Actually, like a lot of the things that you're describing, like the whole tempo stuff, sometimes you have this turn, sometimes you have the other person's turn, and like the whole recall timing and being able to know, like, what's like the right tempo to engage. A lot of them are like, what do you call it? In-game knowledge, so to speak, that a veteran players can shot call for the team. Would you say that you're contributing a lot to the team in this regards?
No, because if I was, we wouldn't lose like that. So I think I must be doing a bad job.
Okay.
And uh, yeah, like
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm sometimes like I can sometimes be the shot caller, but
Yeah.
I can never be like always the main shot caller. I think that
Mm.
that cannot be the AD carry
Yeah.
because AD carry too many things happening. I'm focused on dodging Kaiser's W. I'm focused on having perfect CS, thinking about how the enemy team can kill me. There's lots of things going on in my mind, and I'm always doing something. But so for the main shot caller duties, I think it's normal for mid jungle and support to kind of take on those responsibilities. But yeah, we just need to focus on it. It's not their fault either. I think good team is able to help each other. Me and Someday are the most veteran players, right? But in a lot of ways, AD carry on top can be a little bit like more removed from the game. Like they're not they're not the best roles to shot call from, basically. Uh, so it kind of sucks because um, I'm not saying that if I was playing support or something, I would be like the most godlike shot caller ever. But it's hard to translate what you know out of game into the game. I think lots of people can go on a interview or a talk show and show they have great game knowledge, but then when you're in a game, it's very different because you have very small amounts of time to make the right choice. Um, so yeah, that's how I think about it.
Yeah, speaking of veteran players, hey, by the way, congratulations on your 30th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you celebrate it and did your team make any boomer jokes?
No one made a boomer joke. I mean, like, I think it's funny, like, honestly, being 30, if you lose to me, it's kind of embarrassing, and it's almost like it's almost like I get this pass now because if I do something good, they're like, "Wow, that was a good play for a 30-year-old." But if I make a bad play, they're like, he's just old." So, I think people's expectations of me went down because of the age. Kinda nice, but yeah, it doesn't really bother me at all. I don't really feel like my reaction time or mechanics have gotten any worse. I do think, like, at a certain point they will, right? Like, if I'm, like, 35, 40, maybe I'll start slowing down. I won't be able to react to stuff, but, um, my honest feeling is maybe this is, like, not a good thing to say in an interview about LCS, but League is not that hard mechanically. It's not like I'm playing Valorant, where I have to have perfect aim and reaction time all the time. League is a game about, like, anticipation. Like, you think about something, you can react to it with flash or stopwatch or whatever. Like, if you don't know that it's gonna kill you, you probably won't react to it even if you're 15 years old with crazy reactions. So, yeah, I just think the mechanical skill in League is kinda like a little bit it's the easy part for me. Um, so yeah.
Yeah. Like, how like the whole aging curve thing is like a big conversation now. Oh yeah, do players like grow older and become worse? And like, what is like the age thing? We don't know because we don't have enough data because League of Legends has only been around for 10 years. And of course you've been playing since COG versus IG back in the OGN days. Do you think you're special case or do you think, you know, like you're like the special case where you just stayed mechanically on top, even after 10 years.
Well, I don't know, but I don't wanna say that I'm special because I think that, like, Ruler, when he's 30, 30, whatever, he's still gonna have crazy mechanics. I think Faker will always have great, amazing mechanics. So I just don't think it matters until maybe you're, like, close to 40. Um, if, like, your reaction time even if your reaction time goes down by, like, 10%, who cares? How many reaction time tests are there in League? Like, Malphite flash ulting you? There's 1. Cleanse? There's, like, 2. Maybe, like, stopwatch on something, like, really fast, there's 3. I don't know, like, you can just even if I had, like, way slower reaction times, if I'm anticipating it mentally in my brain and I'm ready to react to it, I'm just gonna react to it. Doesn't matter if I'm 40, 50, or 60, I'm gonna react to it. So I just, like, don't think, like, there's that many hard things about that is going to be affected by age. But what I do think is going to happen though is like I've gotten older, you know, I'm in a committed relationship with Lena, and I have cats now, and I have like more hobbies than I did when I was 18. You know, when I was 18, I only cared about League, so I played League like 16 hours a day. So like you get older and like more things just start happening, you know? Like you just have more stuff going on in your life, so it's just like less time to improve. Um, and so yeah, I mean there will come a time, right, where I'm like gonna want to have a family and like move on next stage of my life. Because to be honest, like I think I'm more than just a League player. You know, like if I'm not gonna spend my entire life just being like, yeah, I play League of Legends. That's who I am. I think I can do lots of things. Playing pro is just gonna be one of many things that I want to do in my life. And yeah, I think like lots of pros should have that mindset, I guess, because at any time you can have no job security. I guess you might have to move on, or maybe at some point like League will die. I don't know when that happens, but at some point like people are gonna stop playing League. So I think yeah, just like getting older is not really a problem, but I think changing your priorities is the biggest thing in getting older.
Some of the Korean fans like this approach to League of Legends that you're bringing it up is in a big contrast to like maybe the LPL or LCK like approach, like, or at least what the players say in interviews. I guess okay, we need to put 24/7 into League of Legends. We need to grind this many solo queues a day, and that's how you stay on top. And some Koreans who watch this interview might even say, "Oh, Doublelift can only say that because he's an NA player."
Oh yeah, they're 100% right. Like they're 100% right. Like, I
Okay.
mean, that's one of the best regions in the world. Like
Yeah.
the standards are higher over there, and
Mm.
it's
Sorry, I was just being straight.
no.
My-
There's many factors in it. Like for
yeah.
one, playing an extra, like playing a lot of NA solo queue games in NA sometimes will help you, but sometimes will actually hurt you. Like we're talking about mechanics. So playing on 50 ping sometimes is going to actually make you worse. Also, the way that you play on 50 ping is this is a very, very like important thing I always tell my teammates to be thinking about it. Are you just moving your character back and forth and hoping that they miss their skill shot, or are you dodging their skill shot? There's two totally different things that you're practicing. And 50 ping, somebody throws a skill shot at you, you're probably not going to be able to react the same way on 0 ping. 50 ping, you just can't, you can't flash it. You can't Xayah ulti it or spell shield it or dodge it with movement. So sometimes you're just hoping that they miss by moving your character back and forth like an idiot. Like just like just juking.
Yeah, I do that. I'm bronze.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. And I think a lot of pro players still do that, and I think that's normal. It's a normal thing to do. But to be a great player, you need to know when to do that and when to look at the enemy champion and react to the skill shot coming at you, so that there is a 0% chance that you will be hit by it. There's lots of skill shots like this that you can just look at and react to. Jinx W is one of them. So you can, if you practice enough, Jinx W's you will never, ever, ever get hit by that skill shot. Ever, if you're a good player. So anyways, the point is, you can build very bad habits playing on high ping, but if you're thinking about it, it'll be fine. Then practicing, more solo queue is always going to make you a better player. But the way it is just like in Korea, you can just queue up and the solo queue quality is so good. Low ping,
Yeah.
lots of pro players, short queue times. Oh my god, like it's just amazing. And whenever people go over there, they grind solo queue 24/7, and it's the most fun thing ever.
Yeah.
So fun to do.
Yeah.
And I think like lots of people who come here, they play the solo queue and they realize like, okay, so the main way that I'm gonna get better is by streaming, watching VODs, and focusing on like high quality, rather than high quantity, basically. And yeah, I mean that it is what it is. That's just reality. I can't say whether or not like maybe if we had the Korean and Chinese work ethic, our region would be more comparable to them. I don't know, but I can just tell you that's how it is right now.
Okay, changing the subject and slowly wrapping this interview up. You earlier mentioned that you're still pretty hopeful that 100 Thieves has made it to playoffs, and it can improve upwards in order to even perhaps take a seat at the 2023 Worlds, people are pretty hyped about some of the narratives there. Like, hey, Ruler is probably coming back to Worlds. We got Uzi trying to come into it. And then Quid recently told me, oh my god, I really want to see Peyz go against Doublelift. I know that Wells is really far away, but I need to get Reddit titles. So, who are some of the 80 carries that you're looking forward to facing at Wells?
Playing versus top 80s is always super fun because it tells you whether or not you are on the right path as a player. So if I was to play against like Peyz, Gumayusi, Ruler, it would be so exciting. Like I wouldn't be able to sleep. Like I would just be so focused on putting up a good performance and proving that like I can match up to them. There's some amazing players in the world, right? Like some amazing 80 carries. Peyz is definitely one of them. I watch his games all the time. But like, yeah, it's just so exciting. I really want to make it to Worlds top 4. I mean, technically, right? It's top 4 because the 4th place will play the EU 4th place for the last spot. It's attainable. Like it's realistic, actually. Like we can do it. It's not a miracle if we make it to Worlds, and I would really like to make it there and play versus top 80 carries. And if they lose to a 30-year-old, like that's embarrassing. Their fans are never gonna let them live it down. Like,
Okay. Will actually random question. Will we keep seeing you playing you in? Will we keep seeing you play in another 5 years? Do you reckon?
5 years, bro.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what's gonna happen in 5 years. That's crazy. I don't know. Like, I thought about this for a long time. Like, how much longer am I really gonna play League? I love League. I love the game. But if it ever comes where I feel like playing League is not fun, then I probably shouldn't be a pro player. Like,
Yeah.
it just doesn't fit. Like, if you're a pro player, you have to love the game and you have to like have the right mentality to put in the hours that you need to. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna still want to play League all day and watch the League all day in 5 years. But I think I'll always be a part of esports. I think I'll always be a part of the community. I really love just sort of like online gaming and competitive games and just like esports. It's my favorite thing. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this interview and best of luck for the playoffs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye. It was fun.